How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and today is going to be Fellowship after 400 hours. I'm doing this a little bit early. I am at 372 hours, but I have a big day today where I'm going to be doing a Mako solo queue series. So I want to make this video before I jump into the absolute cesspit that is solo queue and wind up so toxic that I wind up doing a full doomer rant. I would rather do it with a clear head before I wind up exceptionally annoyed at human beings, so I can give you the clearest opinion that I have on Fellowship at the moment. So, we're going to start off with the most fun part. Fellowship players are statistically absolute dog shit. Now, you might be offended by that. You might be like, oh my god, Wolf, no, I'm a good player, I promise. You might be. You might be. But that doesn't change that at large, the Fellowship community does not have hands. And I, unfortunately, have proof. So, if we take a look at our most recent dev update, why they released these statistics, I genuinely do not know. But they get worse every time I read them. So, if we take a look at our dev update here, this little line down here, 7.2 million hours played, 9 million plus dungeon clears, 49 million plus player deaths. Now, if you do the math on average, that is 5 deaths per dungeon cleared. And that isn't factoring in for all of the levers, the toxicity, all of the excess bullshit that goes on in Fellowship solo queue. Now, I am currently 5 out of 9 Eternal. Today, I'm going to try and do Mako, and then after that, I'm going to do Rhyme, and then I'm going to do both healers at once, because healing in this game is the epitome of cock and ball torture. And then after that, I will have nothing left to do in Fellowship, so I will most likely go and start trying for Keystone Hero in World of Warcraft, because I will literally have nothing left to do. Because unfortunately, this game is currently putting its foot in its own ass. Which I say, as someone who wants this game to do exceptionally well, I am going to play World of Warcraft. Because, first of all, not only is this absolutely, genuinely depressing, because this is a showcase of how bad the average player actually is, which then completely invalidates the toxicity in the first place, because why are we this toxic when we're all this trash? And then, to top it all off, why are we even toxic in the first place? From my experience, with everything I've dealt with Fellowship so far, I've been having a great time, but I created my own Fellowship community to which I can pull wholesome players from. I, again, fully acknowledge and accept I am dealing with streamer privilege. 100%. However, with that being said, the average experience for most Fellowship players is effectively walking into a cult. They come in, they play their low contender keys, they blitz through low contender because it is a snooze fest, they then hit adept, and all of a sudden, the game spikes in immeasurable difficulty, people start leaving after one mistake, and start expecting you to play like me, or Yoda, or Max, in adept keys. And as a result, it's just a fucking joke. To the point that I had to create a wholesome Fellowship community to be able to even get around this in the first place, because the outcry I was hearing from people was that solo queue was essentially Vietnam. Now it gets worse, because our big man right here decided to put his foot in his fucking mouth and completely destroy everything that I went about trying to build. So, during the first week of Fellowship, or the first 2 weeks of Fellowship, me and said guild decided to do Gear Week, which was a week of gearing the community, where we would help you guys go through, help you guys go through your capstone dungeons. We won't be doing this again, because what wound up happening is all of the people that we helped with Gear Week, we helped them get through Tazari, helped them get through Sithril, helped some people through Wraithtide even. We genuinely did we did 30-ish tracked fucking carries, and overall we probably did 50 if not more during 1 week. And that's not even factoring for all of the Sith roll boosts I did on my own before I even decided to start said event. So we're probably at over 100 plus carries. All of those people have quit because Hamish decided to mention a reset. Hamish said that there was going to be a reset in mid-December, and I was ecstatic. I was absolutely over the moon. This was fantastic news. That meant that a reset was coming to re-push the leaderboards, potentially new heroes. You could just reshuffle the entire dungeon board across the board. Everybody would be happy, and we would be good. And what I instead got was major outcry, major anger, and major tilt. And I now understand why. Because if this is the statistical line, you guys can't even play the fucking game. Genuinely, you guys are just, you cannot play the game. So people got so pissed off because their characters that were hard stuck in Adept solo queue were going to be reset. And now they have pushed the window for reset from early December to January to then, in the most recent announcement, Q1. And Q1 could be anywhere between January to March. And genuinely, if Fellowship Reset is in March, I am going WoW and I am staying WoW. Because that reset window is quite literally too long for any content creator to make any semblance of living off of this game. Now, of course, you can be like, oh, whatever, go get a job, eat my ass, all that sort of shit, sure. But content creators, as much as you like it or don't like it, are the lifeblood of a game's sustainability. So to see Yoda, for example, the #1 Fellowship streamer, go down by 900 viewers after month 1 is a very nice showcase of how the game is performing. And unfortunately, we are creating a elitist gatekeeping scenario where if you don't already know what you're doing, you're going to get perma-flamed, have levers, and have a bunch of toxic people. Which means that the game is going to be absolutely impossible to grow, and it's just going to get worse and worse as the community shrinks down. And the deeper and deeper we get into the season overall, the worse it's going to get, because the farther away from the new stuff we get, the more casuals quit. And especially after Hamish announced reset in the first place, a lot of people didn't even realize this was going to be a game with resets, so they shit a brick. My own YouTube comments, for example, were filled with people saying they didn't want to reset was too soon, there should be an Eternal Realm, all of these things, right? And yes, there should be an Eternal Realm, I entirely agree with you, but they don't have the player base to sustain it. And now they have simultaneously, while trying to appeal to everybody, pissed off everybody at once. All of the casuals have quit because of the mention of a reset in the first place. All of my hard pushers have quit because they have nothing left to do. All of said pushers are also basically on retainer until reset, which keeps getting pushed further and further and further back. And so as a result, we're winding up with a game for no one. They are balancing based off of Discord rage, because they're making their sets of changes they believe in, and then the community is getting exceptionally mad at them on Discord because you bricked my build, what the fuck, asshole. And so then they're instantly, the day after, reverting the changes. They are trying so hard to keep a community that hates them that they are simultaneously pissing off everyone who actually enjoys their game. All of the pushers have quit. All of the casuals have left because of the mention of resets, and the only people that are left are ultra-hardcore, cult-like meta-slaves. Let's just put it that way to put it nicely. Meaning that any form of meme video does terribly. Any form of meme build does terribly. You come into content with a build that's not Yoda's #1, rank 1 possible fucking build. You get flamed, your tank leaves, your DPS leaves, I don't want to carry trash, and then they quit. And I don't know how we've gotten here. The version of Fellowship that I played during the Steam Next Fest, the open betas, all this sort of stuff when we were progging everything, was so genuinely wholesome, it was absolutely incredible. But we have lost the fucking plot so goddamn badly, I am going to go play World of Warcraft.